Your partner will always respect you in a romantic relationship.
Wrong! 70% of all relationships end up dead, burst into flames, and tossed off a stinking bridge.
But there's one hope.
Boundaries!
Today we're gonna prove that creating healthy boundaries can save a relationship or not. You decide in the comments. With 3 stories about relationships that get more and more. Let's go. My boyfriend bragged about all the girls DMing him after he started dating me, but he won't block them.
Why would he?
Well, hello everyone. Had a situation recently with my boyfriend of 1 year and 5 months. Hopefully that's not his age. We've only had small fights that were resolved quickly within the same day. This fight, of course, is different. By the way, this comes from Important Support 94 on the r/relationship advice subreddit. So we were on a trip together, and during our long car ride, he brought up the topic of exes.
Lovely topic.
Lovely topic. Sam's favorite.
I've never brought up my exes
Smell
ever.
cats.
He enjoys discussing his exes and will bring them up casually. Example. I bought a certain food trip and he said, "Oh, my ex bought me this once."
I would never do that.
He would never do that exact same thing in a million years. And I actually dislike hearing about them so often, but I've never revealed that because I didn't want to seem insecure. Insert clown emoji. During our discussion, he said, 4 girls have thrown a fit since they found out about you. And he appeared smug while saying it.
That's whack. I would not do that.
Yeah, that he actually wouldn't. That I can attest to. Everything else, I cannot. I was curious as 4 seemed like a lot. All were girls he had a romantic/hookup history with. He explained. 2 blocked him after he posted the first pic of me to his Snapchat, not after he told them that he's in a relationship, mind you. And the other 2 seemingly reached out to him with intentions to get him back. 1 girl was shut down, and the other we'll call X is the one that I've heard about before.
I did have 9 people unfollow me whenever I posted a picture of Angie. Fun fact.
There you go. All 9 of them may or may not have been at this house, may or may not have been at once. Up to you to pick up on the context clues.
Wait a second.
Now, the ex and boyfriend dated for just 3 months 3 years ago. This was followed up by an on-again, off-again period where between them until he fully broke up with her shortly before he asked me out. Their relationship consisted of her being very flaky and distant and breaking up with him often, but still getting super upset if he saw another girl. Despite the toxicity, he said their relationship was the most significant to him out of all of his exes. He once abandoned a date to go pick her up instead when she asked.
What? This is his ex?
Yeah, so he's on the date. This is 2 different girls. He's on a date with girl A, and his ex was like, "Hey, come to me." He's like, "All right, see you later, girl A. I'm gonna go back to my ex."
This is like a first date?
Maybe. We don't know. Sam trying his
Stop.
hardest to justify it in his brain.
Okay, first date with a girl, your ex hits you up and says, "Hey, will you give me a ride?"
Is she like dying?
She's in Silver Lake.
Is she dying in Silver Lake?
She's just uncomfortable, and she has no one else to pick her up.
She's uncomfortable? Like someone's like...
She's cold.
She's cold.
She's just cold.
No, she's just cold. But if she's like...
If there's any danger present.
No, she's just cold and she just wants a ride because no one else will pick up.
And is she out like all alone?
She's want to leave a group of friends at the bar.
Oh, no. But if she was out all alone and all her friends had left.
And she's cold.
If there's any sort of like inkling
And
of...
Uber doesn't exist. Like if she's in danger in any way.
Yeah.
And couldn't get out of it, I would, I would.
Yeah.
You would ditch the date.
If it was a first date.
Maybe it's this. Hey, buy me a sweater and drive it to me.
If it was a first date, and I would just be like, dude, if a woman was in trouble, you're saying I shouldn't?
Sam is there.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Come on.
A woman that broke your heart.
That's okay. I can forgive.
He once abandoned a date to go pick her up, the ex, when she asked, later finding out that she needed a ride after being stood up by a guy. So she's just like, "Hey, come pick me up." And then she's like, "Oh, a date stood me up."
So she was alone and cold.
I mean,
Unless she's in danger, no.
Yeah. If there's any danger or any major like red flags or anything of that nature.
If it was like, hey, I'm uncomfortable, like because of blah blah blah,
XYZ.
then yeah.
Boom. So once boyfriend and I started dating, X contacted him every few months. Usually small talk like, how are you? Or random pictures, innocent sometimes of her, and he would reciprocate. He posted me on Snap and she viewed it. He told me about a convo where she implied that she wanted him to be her date to a friend's wedding. I wasn't bothered by them interacting and never felt jealous. I would just say, oh, that's weird, when he would tell me stuff that he saw as sketchy.
That is weird. If she's inviting a date as a wedding, you're in a relationship.
But anyways, back when me and my boyfriend were talking in the car about the four girls throwing a fit over him being with me now, he described a Snapchat convo he had with his ex a week ago. He said she apologized for her past behavior and that she's jealous of me, misses him, and will always have a soft spot for him.
If you say that, then it's obviously not going to be friends, and so you have to go no contact.
Well, he has to bring something hard for her soft spot. Boyfriend said he replied with, and I quote, "For what it's worth, I feel the same, but I have to move on." Yoinks. I don't know.
That he'll always have a soft spot for her?
Yeah, he says he feels the same.
I mean, I guess he's like kind of setting boundaries too, but also in like I don't know.
I think you could say like, hey, you're awesome and I totally respect you and totally want your happiness.
Could you say, and I'll always, there's always going to be a part of me that cares about you?
Maybe.
Can you say that?
I think even that is gray area.
That's too much.
I think when you're doing these messages, I think you completely drive away from any gray areas. I think it's getting too much at this point. Way too much. I was already slightly put off by his visible ego trip when he was talking about the four girls, but that statement made me very upset. Why tell her that you still have those feelings? And ouch, why do you still have those feelings when we've been dating for so long? 1 year and 5 months. I got pretty quiet, but didn't bring up X again until we arrived at the room that we were staying at.
Wait, really quick.
Yes.
It could just be like it doesn't necessarily mean he still has those feelings. It's just like, oh, there's like always going to be a part of me that cares for you.
I think his word, it's gray area because it could be interpreted in two ways. It could be like, hey, I'll always care for you. I do want the best for you and still like see you as a friend or like love you as a friend or whatever. Yeah. But it could also be interpreted as literally saying like, oh, I have a soft spot for you. I miss you.
Well,
that kind of stuff is what I am reading this as. If it could be interpreted as that, I wouldn't send it. I think you say exactly what you mean and be explicit outside of the gray area.
Yeah, because what she's saying is she's saying like, I want you, I want to be back together with you, and he's like, same.
Yes,
but I got to move on.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you can say like, if like the best version of that would be like, hey, there's always going to be part of me that cares for you as a friend. You drop the as a friend.
Yeah.
But I'll
be honest, even that, I think you just have to be so careful with the wording.
I think if you say as a friend, that's fine.
I think you could say like, I'm, it gets so tricky, but yeah, like I see you as a friend. I want the best for you. You are an amazing person. Like,
but then you set the boundary. Then you're like, but hey, I'm in a relationship. If you're, if you have these feelings for me, we really can't hang out.
And I think too, especially with a person like this, if she gets any whiff that there's like any sort of like crack in the door, she's probably gonna full bore go for it. So it's like, and you can still be nice while setting a very firm. I don't think OP should say anything like negative.
No,
but still set a very clear and strong.
And I think
boundary.
I think you need to cut off for sure.
Yeah.
Any like in-person meetup with this person.
Definitely. Are you no contact as of right now?
I'm not like block.
Yeah.
But I'm like, hey, I really can't be talking to you.
Yeah.
Or like, hey, come to my house after 10 p.m.
I would not say that.
I said his and his ex's conversation bothered me and asked if they still talked after it. He ended up pulling out his phone to show their Snapchat chat page, but tilted the phone away from me when the screen contained all of his Snap conversations. So he's showing her their specific convo, but then pulling it away when it's like the full list of all of his messages, like his inbox, basically.
Which is probably him talking to other ladies.
Mm-hmm. I asked my boyfriend why was he hiding the screen, and he said because his group chats have weird names. Days later, he said it was because she sent him a pet picture, and he replied with his own, and didn't want me to see the open photo symbol on their chat.
Were you showing him
like
a wiener dog and she had a
ferret?
pussycat?
There we go.
He looked amused at the situation. When he opened his chat with his ex, he kept it tilted away, and I looked at first before finally he showed me a short, saved small talk in convo from 1 year ago. He only showed it to me for a mere second or two, and I reached out to touch his screen, and he, quick like lightning, pulled his phone away to safety. I was shocked and unnerved from his complied behavior, and on the spot I said, I don't think we should be together.
Yeah. At that point, should you just be like, let me see your phone if he's showing it to you?
Dude,
Like, here's the keys to my car, but you can't drive it. Oh, here you go.
if my partner's like being sketchy like that, unless my birthday's around the corner, I'm not trusting.
Yeah, because what if they're planning something big?
If they're planning some surprise thing, I'm not trusting.
What if it's
like
really
that.
big, though, and it needs months?
months of
Maybe even a year. Maybe even 2 years.
I don't know. I would be suspicious.
A heated argument ensued. I pointed out his secrecy with his phone and said it seemed like X was trying to come in between our relationship and that he was entertaining it. He denied it, and I asked him for more details of their talk from last week. Here's the gist of what he told. He initiated the convo with X, saying, it's been 3 years since our breakup. He claimed it was to call her out. She played coy, oh really, and said that she likes checking in with him. Boyfriend asked why she still cares after so long. She apologized for her behavior in the relationship, then said she still gets jealous and that every other guy treats her horribly and she gets used by them, but my boyfriend was so amazing to her and showed her what love truly is. And that he will always have a spot in her heart.
Ooh, showed what
Back up.
Beep, beep, beep.
You can't say that. You can say that after a breakup. You can't say that while in a relationship.
3 years later. Yeah. Boyfriend replied, for what it's worth, I feel the same, but I had to move on. Also, I don't know if you guys are catching this, but I had to move on. What about I have to move on? Present tense.
What makes you feel like you have to?
And why is it like, oh, I've moved on in previously, but now? I don't know. Just another like Kendrick Lamar level Easter egg in there. It's buried deep in the messaging.
Dude, I feel like he was really thinking about that one.
Right? I think he's giving her this like the subtlest signal
The window.
that he could still show his girlfriend and be. So he's walking on a like 1 molecule thick wire right here, etc., etc. They discussed the relationship, complimented the other on being a good partner. She fished for pity/attention by talking about bad ways that guys were treating her and that she was broken, but that boyfriend was the only man who made her feel real love and treated her well. I asked boyfriend about the feel the same comment. He said it was to let her down gently. I asked, why not say, I'm happy now with my current girlfriend or something, and he said X had self-harm issues, so he wanted to be nice. I told boyfriend that when you tell X the feelings are mutual, it doesn't matter what comes after that statement. He said that I was acting like a B, an a-hole, and more. I perceived their closure convo to be her testing if she still had him on a leash like she did before, and him falling for it. The arguing lasted a few days, and when he repeated the contents of their conversation to me, things would change every time. First, he said I was never mentioned in the conversation. 2, I was mentioned a lot, and that X definitely knew that he had a girlfriend. 2, I think she knew about you. The feel the same way comment, which I especially hooked onto, changed to even if I did feel the same way, I've moved on. For me, that's entirely different meanings, but he was mad when I was held up on the wording. I wouldn't be upset at the latter version, but he used the sketchy version the first 2 times, and he said it, which is why I think it's accurate. First, he claimed he ended the convo with, "You can block me if you're jealous of my girlfriend." But
Dude, this is so sketchy.
this
is so sketchy.
How old are they again?
Oh, great question. They are
Oh, 21 and 24.
21 and 24.
She's 21. He's 24. He's 24 and acting like this?
Dude, he is acting like a child.
I thought they were in high school.
Nah, dude. Nah. Ugh.
Yikes.
Snapchat this,
Get
Snapchat
over
that.
it.
Right? Oh, true. But that changed to my to X being the one to say she understands if boyfriend needs to block her, then him just saying it back. I pointed out all the inconsistencies, and he angrily said he doesn't have perfect memory. He admitted to changing parts of the convo so they wouldn't be upsetting for me to hear or take out of context, but said that she understood that he was shutting it down. After the initial argument, I felt like my trust in him faded and I couldn't enjoy our vacation with him with it weighing on me. This all happened on their vacation. My God.
Fun.
Dude, yeah, what a great time
What
away.
a blast.
Hey, I know a place we're going to. 6 Red Flags.
Oh.
I told boyfriend I needed him to let me write a message to her from his phone. I promise I won't send until he approves and then block her. He said no, it's unnecessary. It would be mean. He's already shut her down. I got upset and said that I needed it to happen for our relationship to work. Laying it all on the line.
I mean, kind of right, dude.
Yeah.
Kinda right.
An ultimatum has been made, basically. He begrudgingly pulled up her contact through normal texting, then showed me that he had already blocked X on Snapchat. I was still heated and said I wanted a text anyways, because he could just probably unblock her, right? And then just get right back
exactly.
to business. This is where I admit I could have done things different, but still have her blocked. I wrote the text from him. I want to be clear that I'm not interested at all in you and don't want to keep in contact, so I'm blocking you. I showed my boyfriend and he said no and that he felt he needed to stand his ground. I cried and said I didn't understand since she was trying to disrupt our relationship. He agreed she was, even back to the wedding thing. We discussed a while and then he said, you can send it, but I will break up with you. Dude, this is...
It's like you need to get back with your ex, dude.
Yeah, honestly, if it was so great, you feel the soft spot of hers so much. Pause. I asked, really? And then hit send. Dude, this is some like mafioso, like face off in the movie type stuff right here. My God.
I'll do it.
I'll do it. Bing! Did it. He looked defeated and we sat in silence. She wrote back, calling him crazy and a wiener and saying that she didn't deserve that. Boyfriend said he was embarrassed and appeared psychotic to her. Another ding sounded from his phone that he said wasn't her, but days later he revealed it was actually a second message from her saying, I hope your girlfriend made you feel better. I did feel better after sending it, and boyfriend said he was angry up until it was sent. Then he felt relieved.
I think he's just trying to save whatever was left of this thing.
Guys, I think OP should run away from this relationship, but don't run away from us because you can join us every weekday at 3 p.m. PST on the live. Woo! Tap her profile. She's blocked now, but I still feel sketched out by the boyfriend. I want him to show me that she's still blocked, but not tilt the phone away during it so I can be certain.
Dude, I mean, he's just being sketchy. He's just
When
being
you get to this
repeatedly
point-
sketchy.
Dude,
Ugh.
if you're like, oh, show me, but don't tilt the phone. Once you have to like make all of these like rules and stipulations and really, where are we? Really, where are we? But I feel like I'd be a too jealous girlfriend if I did that. He never gives access to his phone for anything, but I realize he always was like that and I find it odd. He calls me insecure and crazy for it, and I question if he's right, though. I was fully confident before that I need to leave him. I still sort of feel that he wasn't over her and was entertaining her and obviously testing the water, especially due to his inconsistencies. I never had a problem with them talking, but him saying that he quote unquote feels the same is so uncool, but he denies ever telling her that. Possibly I misunderstood their interactions when their talk was normal. On the contrary, he may be gaslighting me by claiming he shut her down effectively after I called him out. When we discuss it, we both get angry and disagree on almost everything. How do we effectively resolve it when we only go in circles due to our opposing differences?
You don't resolve it. You break up. This is a very toxic relationship. I don't know. as soon as he was keeping the phone from you and also calling you crazy for wanting to see the phone, I think, the trust is gone, and I don't think you're going to get it back.
You give this ex the amazing man who has always treated her so much better than everyone else.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Take him.
Take him.
Take him. I'm sure the reason that you broke up will not be the reason that you break up again.
How you get him is definitely not how you lose him. That's not how that works.
No. You get him in a completely different ways.
Exactly.
Musical, beautiful ways.
So beautiful.
I hid my family wealth from my boyfriend. He just found out, and now he's furious. So I, 17 female, have been dating my boyfriend, Mike, 16 male, for about 3 months now.
There it is.
What?
The ages.
The ages? They're young. They're youngins. Almost illegal.
How you doing?
But not quite. So we're both juniors in high school, and everything has been going really well between us. We met through mutual friends about 8 months ago and hit it off quickly. He's funny, kind, and down to earth. By the way, this comes from Strange Gene 8213 on the Best of Redditor Updates subreddit, the BORUpdates. So we have an amazing relationship, but our financial situations are completely different. My family is pretty well off, not rich, no mansions, yachts, etc. But we live in a nice house, take 1 to 2 vacations per year, and I don't really have to stress about money. I only work just so I'm not sitting at home doing nothing. That being said, I've always been taught not to flaunt nor bring it up. We drive normal cars and live a fairly average lifestyle, even if we have more savings than others. I never talk about money with people.
Okay.
Mike's family doesn't have as much. He's mentioned how they struggle sometimes to pay bills and how they have to budget for everything. Pigeon Knight Brianna says they def are illegal to you, Sam. Well, no, that doesn't need to be said.
Dude, YouTubers these days.
I know exactly. With YouTubers these days, maybe they don't know.
But now he knows, and he has it on camera.
I do, yeah. So you use this against me, I guess. Which you will never have to. Because of this, he's made a few comments about rich kids being spoiled or out of touch, which is why I didn't bring up my family situation. I don't want him to see me differently or feel awkward about the differences between us. I don't care what his financial situation is. I love him anyway.
Aww.
He's seen my house and know my parents run a business, but he doesn't know about all my parents' assets, which make a lot more money and is what keeps us comfortable. So he doesn't know how much we really have. But I mean, does anyone know how much another person's family really has? I don't think so. Well, recently, Mike and I had dinner with my family along with their cousins. We all sat down and talked about traveling in general, and one of my cousins mentioned a vacation home my parents had. Vacation home. So I think that the richness
is showing.
Might be showing. Might be showing.
At the first paragraph, they were like, we just have normal cars. Everything's normal.
But then you talk about the vacation homes. She was talking about the cabin we had in the mountains. Our family loves camping and hiking, so we vacation there sometimes. And Mike went quiet. But all I could tell was that something was up. Later, when we were alone, he asked why I never told him that my family had so much money. I tried to explain that it wasn't something I thought was important, and I didn't want him to feel weird about it. Besides, he knew I was more well off than him. He just didn't know the extent. He just didn't know the extent. So girls are rich. Mike has no idea. Dang. That's when he got a bit upset and said that that caught him off guard. He mentioned how I could have been helping him out with some of the things he's been struggling with financially, like gas money, or when his car needed repairs a few months ago, or when his butthole needed to be waxed. He said that he was not asking for handouts, but he said it feels like I was hiding something from him when I could have made things easier. I told him I didn't want to make things awkward between us by offering money, and I didn't think it was my place to get involved with his finances, which I think is true. But now he says it feels like I wasn't being honest and that maybe I don't trust him enough to share that part of my life. Over the next few weeks, Mike started getting a little invasive. He looked up my house on Zillow and was shocked at the value.
Pocket watching.
Mike showed me his screen and was upset that he didn't know how rich we were. He also started looking up my family members on social media sites to see what they do and how rich they are. Cousins, uncles, aunts. I got really mad and told him I didn't appreciate him digging through my family life and my finances are none of his business. I asked him to stop being weird. Then Mike responded he was just trying to fully understand what my lifestyle is like. but I think he's going completely off the rails. I didn't mean for it to turn into such a big deal. I was just trying to avoid him feeling uncomfortable or like he was a less than me. I also believe my family finances are irrelevant, but now I'm wondering if I should have been more open from the start. So am I the a-hole? There is an update. There's a lot more, but John, really quick. So basically TLDR is OP's a little rich, not ridiculously rich, but a little rich. We're talking vacation homes, traveling a bunch of times.
Okay.
And Mike, her boyfriend, is like poor. And Mike suddenly found out that OP was a little rich because he heard about their vacation home and then started doing investigating and saw that their house was pretty expensive and then started researching everything. So the question is OP the a-hole for not disclosing that she's a Richie Rich?
Not at all. I feel like
Oh, they're also teenagers.
Yeah, they're 16 and 17.
that makes this so much more hilarious. Okay. Oh, yeah. Throw the whole thing out there. It's idiot teenagers. Just kidding. Only slightly. Yeah, and it's the guy.
So OP's the girl. The guy is being insecure. They've been dating for like 8 months, I think.
I mean, I think what this is like, to get real and deep, I think this is more a product of like maybe like his insecurity, or I don't know if that's the right word, but like, you know, this is his way of kind of like processing all of that. And I'm doing a terrible job of explaining this, but I could see like an adult relationship, like, yeah, you get a sense of it, and finances, I think, are discussed like as you get. It's kind of like a gradual process, you know, of like, oh, hey, like, do we want to split things, and like once we live together, do we split that? Like, yeah, I think he's doing too much. I think he's just being super extra.
Yeah, dude, he's literally acting like a 16-year-old,
which he literally is. So, I think that's all that's happening here. I don't know that it's like super bad or like there's anything like deeper, more evil beneath the surface.
No, I think he's just insecure. I don't think she did anything wrong. I think it's just something they're gonna have to work out.
Just grow up.
Yeah, grow up.
Yeah. Oh,
update 3 days later.
Whoa.
So when I made the original post, it was a few days after our argument. I wasn't going to post an update, but lots of people wanted one and stuff actually happened. So here we go. Yesterday, I called Mike and asked if we could meet up for donuts and coffee to discuss what to do next. Donuts was not written. I just said donuts for some reason.
It happens.
He agreed. As we talked, I explained my family's finances are private.
Yep.
And it was not my business to tell other people. The money isn't even technically mine. It's my parents'. This is why I didn't tell him. Mike didn't take this well. He asked me how I could just watch him struggle for months and not do anything. How I pretended to feel bad for him when I didn't even understand how bad his life was. I responded that I did feel bad and I have been supportive. I tried to get him a job at my parents' grocery store, but he didn't like it, so he refused.
Ooh.
I would always give rides to him since gas was expensive. I offered gas money whenever he did drive, but he always refused since he wanted to pay for me. Even just emotionally, I was trying to be as supportive as I could while he was stressed, which I feel like is good.
Yeah, that sounds like she's doing a good job.
I acknowledge that I don't understand how hard his life is because I've never lived it, but I've done my best to be supportive emotionally. Mike just dismissed all of that and said that wasn't the point. He said that for him, the money wasn't the issue, it was the trust. He felt that I had kept something significant from him, and he's wondering what else I was hiding. He said he wasn't asking for handouts, but knowing I had the means to help him but chose not to made him feel unsupported. Mike explained he felt like there was a huge gap between us now, and he will never be equal to me. He told me there was no reason for me to hide such a big secret from him. Again, what she said repeatedly is, I never thought this was important, so that's why I didn't tell you.
Yeah.
And also, it's not my money.
Hey, Sam, I have something really big that I've been keeping from you.
What?
My grandfather, his name was Thomas. I'm so sorry. I never thought to tell you.
Well, what else are you hiding from me? I don't think this is going to work anymore.
My grandma?
No, don't say it.
Her name?
No.
Robbie.
So at this point, I got angry. I corrected him saying he was asking for handouts. I mentioned our previous conversation of how he said that I could have helped with his car and gas. I explained the money he so desperately wanted wasn't even mine. It was my family's. I told him that he wasn't entitled to the money my parents spent over 2 decades earning. Agreed. I couldn't just bail him out of whatever problems he has with money. I went back to how I did support him, just not financially. I'm ashamed to admit that I did kind of lose my cool and almost started yelling. After that, I calmed down and explained that I would never shame him for his struggles. My family never has either. They love him. We don't care about how much money someone has. We talked for some more, but I eventually told him I wanted to break up.
Oh,
You fumbled the bag, bro. You fumbled
sure
the bag.
did, partner.
It wasn't because he was upset I hid my wealth, but it was for digging into my family members' lives. I told him that it was extremely invasive and I couldn't forgive that. And I couldn't feel comfortable around someone who would do that. It was a breach of trust for me. Mike also told me he wanted to break up since he didn't feel comfortable in a relationship where the financial gap is so big. Yeah, sure. Like she says she wants to break up and we're like, yeah, I want to break up too.
Yeah.
I want to break up too. Yeah. I was going to say that first.
Mhm.
We ended the conversation, parted ways. The good thing is he goes to a different school, so I won't be seeing him around. Part of me feels sad since I do love him. It was my first relationship and I wanted it to work, but I also feel relieved because I wasn't sure if I could take whatever Mike would do if I stayed. I really didn't like him stooping in my family's lives. I'm wondering if I made a mistake ending the relationship now, and it really sucks. Was I too harsh? I'm not even sure. I don't think I'll be dating anytime soon. I'm not too eager to. Now, there is a little bit more, but really quick to answer that question. Do you think OP was too harsh?
No.
Yeah, I agree. I think not at all. And just to be clear, I don't hate Mike. I do think he probably just never saw money like ours and that he was shocked in general. And I get that he is 16 and I'm sure he will grow out of this mentality. I hope he does have a better life, but I can't continue with him. I don't like that he tried to dig in my family members' lives. TLDR, we talked and decided to break up. I couldn't forgive him and digging through my family's lives like that, and I wasn't comfortable to be with someone like that. Mike broke up with me since he felt our financial gap was too big to handle. It was mutually agreed to break up. I also wanted to clarify a couple last things. A lot of people were asking about the car. Mike's car is old and used. It wasn't gifted to him by his uncle since he doesn't use it anymore. It was about 8 years old. Mike didn't buy the car. 2, Mike doesn't know the true value of my parents' money. That's why he was digging around. It seems like people on Reddit thought I was perceived middle class or poor. I never was. Mike and others knew I lived a life that was well off. I just never talked about money, that's all. Mike does not know about my parents' other assets. He started thinking we had more money than he thought because he found out about the vacation home. That's why he tried digging through my family's information. He still doesn't even know close to anything. My parents keep their assets secret. Even I don't know them. People don't start digging into your life until you give them a reason to. And then OP makes an edit. Okay, so apparently 8 years is not that old for a car. All right, Richie Rich. Sorry,
Right.
I don't know how cars work, but it's been heavily used anyway. And there are some relevant comments to close us out.
Dude, my car's 10 years old.
My car is 12 years old.
My car before this car was...
Nope, your car now.
Got him.
Mr. Richie Rich over here.
Yeah. Whoa, Mr. Electric Vehicle.
It doesn't... I don't have to get gas ever. It's great.
It is solid.
It is great. It is
It
great.
Solid.
There are some relevant comments, but I don't know if they're that relevant.
Mm.
But what are your relevant comments, John?
Oh, we have the most relevant comments. Yeah, I think that, they're young. He was doing a lot.
Yeah. He's insecure, but also he's 16.
He's 16. I think like OP said, and mature on her part. I think this is a mindset he can grow, and a kind of emotional reaction he can grow out of.
Dude, I was probably not the best boyfriend at 17. You know?
Oh, dude.
I was terrible. I was so insecure.
Yeah.
You're
naive. You don't know what to do.
I was naive. I was needy. I was I was dependent. I thought that I could only be successful as with a girlfriend. All these things that I think you learn to grow out of as you just age.
100%. Yeah. Everyone is weird. Yeah.
Everyone is secure, and everyone is insecure, especially when they're young.
True.
And if you're not, dude, shout out to your parents. That's crazy.
Yeah. And just an idiot.
Yeah, everyone's an
I think
insecure
I was just
idiot.
an idiot.
All right, John was a secure idiot.
Yeah, I kind of was though. I'm not even gonna lie.
That actually goes. That aligns with everything I know about suit wearing high school John.
Yes. I love my boyfriend, but hate where we live. He won't leave, so I might leave him.
Do it.
Ooh.
Do it. Prove it.
I don't know what to do. Sounds like you do. And it's hard for most people to understand. I, 25 female, lived in a beautiful state right in the mountainous terrain. My family owns an Angus ranch, and I was my dad's right hand. My dad is a long haul trucker and is gone for the whole week, which wasn't long enough to fix up all the equipment and other problems. I was in high school when I started to take over the ranch responsibilities. I went to school, then to a community college campus to become a vet tech. Then I would go feed in the winter. It was a lot of work, old equipment, tons of snow, frozen ton bales, mud. That's when your bales of hay and mud are frozen. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Do you know about any of this frozen mud bale stuff?
I know nothing about frozen.
Do you know? Right?
Yeah.
Frozen mud bales.
Yeah. Sometimes whenever they'll get the hay bales together and then it'll rain the night before and then it gets cold, something like that, and they're like muddy and frozen.
Oh, jeez.
I've always lived in the heat, so I wouldn't know. But I did it for my dad, and so my mom, who is in bad health, didn't have to do it. I have 3 sisters, but they may have been smart enough not to get involved, but I didn't want to let my dad down. During the summer, I would find a way to transport them to summer pastures. I would go up every weekend to fix a fence and get cows in. They were a lot.
Cool.
And this comes from Most Construction 412 from r/TwoHotTakes. So I left to college and helped whenever I came home. One time, my dad had to leave during a roundup. This meant I had to gather all of the cows off of the mountains by myself. That just sounds crazy.
Dude,
I had to gather all the cows in the mountains.
we had like 2 cows and
Here it goes.
and I hated it. Like they would always get out and I would have to go into the woods, find it, and bring it back to our fence.
I'm not going to lie. Sam sent me a cow showering Instagram reel the other day,
I did.
and it was cute.
Fire.
Made me want to get a cow. Not even
It was so
Right.
fluffy.
Dude,
Right?
it was so fluffy, bro.
Did I send you guys the duck one too?
I saw that.
yeah,
Chicken?
yeah.
Yeah, chicken.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Fluffy boys.
Oh.
Do yourself a favor. Go Google that content.
Oh, that was great.
So I had to move all the cows off the mountains by myself in a weekend to take back home to winter feed. I was stressed out, to say the least. All hard challenges work out in the end, and it's one of the stories I love to tell about that crap show that I went on to accomplish. I did all of this work for 4 years until I got an internship on a ranch in a few states away. It was only for 4 months. I took it and met my now boyfriend, Josh, 29.
Cute.
Cute. We clicked right off the bat. We hung out a lot, but I had to leave back home because the internship was over and I still had a year left to finish my bachelor's. When I got home, we talked every day. The vid hit and classes all went online. Because of that, I thought I would just go see him. I pretty much moved into his dad's house where he lived too. Josh and his dad ran a trucking company and are almost never home. We lived in his dad's house for about 4.5 years.
That's a long time. Also, shout out to the entrepreneurs over here. Like they both have their own companies. OP has an Angus company, and then her boyfriend has a trucking company. It's pretty sick.
It sounds like, yeah, they're just like taking on the family businesses
business.
and
Yeah.
not easy businesses.
No,
You know
dude.
what? In my whole time doing this, I've never had to pick up frozen mud or hay.
Not yet.
I'm not
Not yet.
true.
Wait till you come to my house.
Yeah.
True.
When we do the Riley podcast,
Dude, the
episode.
Riley home tour.
Yeah.
Take the mobile pod setup to the farm.
Honestly, it would
sawmill.
probably work pretty well.
It would. There's a lot of open sky.
Yeah.
It would be fun. Now, Josh has bought a house. We are fast forwarding here. I love the house and I love Josh, but I hate it here. This is where things start to turn down the dark road. I hate the state we live in. It's dry, dead, and flat. I
Where
know.
is it? Where do you think it is?
Oklahoma.
I was
No
gonna say
joke.
Texas.
Oklahoma for sure.
Ohio.
Riley hates
I
Oklahoma.
hate Oklahoma.
He's just
Why?
Dude, whenever I drove here across the country with Rex, we drove through Oklahoma, and it was the most boring state ever.
Riley.
I
gets-
knew the second we got into Texas, everything changed.
Oh, really?
It did. It
The
did.
fact that you said Texas is because that's something I've always heard. Driving through Texas is like the most boring thing.
No, it was super fast. The miles per hour limit was up, and we just span through there, and it was fun. There were so many windmills, and it was the sun was setting. It was beautiful. I love Texas.
I love Riley's random, super specific grudges. It always puts a smile on my face. So I no longer work with horses like I used to. I used to go packing in the mountains for days, and now I'm stuck here. I've rode some of Josh's horses out here, and it doesn't itch the scratch. I need to get lost, but I can never, ever ride far enough away to not see the horse trail. I am used to beautiful surroundings and a decent community. I love Josh, but it makes it hard. I am no longer calm and patient. I anger quickly, and I'm on edge all the time.
Because of where you live?
That's what it seems like. Which, I mean, imagine you were in like a dark, damp, secluded, like crappy, not even like a nice forest or something, but just like you're just in a place secluded from everywhere else. There's dirt everywhere.
Like for example, like a closet 8 hours a day during COVID, never allowed to leave.
Yeah, exactly.
Surrounded by your own clothes.
Reading one sentence 5 hours straight.
5,000 times, which is something that John and I had to do during COVID when we started podcasting, is we had to sit in our literal closets for 8 hours a day.
I will say though,
it didn't feel that bad. Honestly.
It didn't feel that bad, and we would keep going, and the other producers and stuff who were just sitting on the Zoom call were like, "Hey, I want a break," and we're like, "I mean, we could keep going."
All right, nerd.
Nerd.
Yeah, try growing up. I go on 8 hours straight
and reading like us. Honestly, that really prepared us.
It did, dude. We were like, because after that, we're like, oh, we could record 12 hours straight, but we can record in the open air.
We don't have to reread the same sentence 10 times in a row.
Oh my God,
let's
dude.
go.
We really did start from the bottom. The bottom.
And now we're here.
Just like Drake.
Yep. I have a great job here, but it's stressful. I miss the mountains, the horses, the work, and most of all, my dad. I can't stand hearing him stress out while I sit in my office at work. I try to visit home at least every quarter, but it's hard because of work and we are busy. We throw a big benefit show every year and have raised almost $100,000 for local families in 5 years. That's awesome. Which we are heavily known for. Josh can't move because of his company. In the end, I'm stuck to where I either lose the love of my life, Josh, or I lose my roots. We would be married now, but I just don't know. I have tried making friends here, and I only have one that lives 3 hours away. Join our Discord. Okay, story time. If we have kids, I will be all by myself, and don't even think about bringing my mother-in-law into this. That's a heck no. Which one do I lose? We have some edits, but let's pause here real quick.
I mean, if it's really affecting your mental health that much, like you might not have a choice.
Yeah, it seems like you are like so unhappy in the relationship that it's like it's just
and in the place too.
Yeah. In the relationship, I think mostly because of the place.
Yeah, you can go to Nashville. There's a bunch of cowboys there.
Here's a quick question. I think OP left. I think they both had like the family businesses, right?
Mm-hmm.
It seems like OP left the ranch for the office.
Yeah.
Could she maybe not be like, hey, for the past 5 years or so, I've left. Could you possibly do the same, or I don't know, something? Is that too much to ask given OP's done it?
I mean, she could ask,
Yeah.
but I think what you start with is you say, hey, I really don't like living here.
Yeah.
I really like
This is how serious it is.
This is how serious it is. Like I really need to move, and I feel like I'm trying to because I mean, what are the other problems in the relationship? It's just really how terrible this place is.
It seems the
Location.
all the problems revolve around the location.
Yeah, so I think you talk to him and just be like, hey, like this location is not working for me. I need to get out like soon.
Yeah,
because I'm really, really depressed. And then maybe you guys can come out with a solution together.
Yeah, at least inform him of where you're at.
Yeah.
Just to start the conversation.
I wouldn't skip straight to breaking up.
Yeah, I agree. Like it's not even not to break up. Like Sam said earlier, it's like, oh, if it's affecting your mental health that bad, then probably it is best to move towards that. But without having a conversation first to see if there could. What if he's like, you know what? I never knew how you felt. I'm quitting today. who knows? Like, we don't know without actually like communicating with him.
Yeah.
And
I think it could work. I think it could work.
Yeah, I think so too.
But you just have to be communicative early.
Well, let's see if it does.
Okay.
Edit number 1. I talk to Josh all the time about it. It's one of our main problems in our relationship. He wants to break up to set me free, but he also doesn't want to lose me. Wow, interesting. Josh tries anything to make me happy, but it makes me feel worse because I don't want him to hurt, but he does. He can't relocate his company because of the contracts he has. Plus, it wouldn't be as successful if we did. Edit number 2, the company he's in charge of is his grandpa's, and the contracts he has are very good. He is scared to make the jump to find contracts in the mountains. He does try to let me create my own space. He's given me over $2,000 to start a boutique and helps me with my Longhorn Skull business.
Oh, nice.
Guys, is this not Riley? Help me out here. Is this not the most
Southern one that we've read yet?
Not Longhorn Skull business. I no longer have a whole lot of time for them because of work, but he does let me have my own deal. I just don't think I will ever find anyone as patient as he is with all of my problems. By the way, you can join us every weekday at 3 p.m. PST. Have a profile. Join us. Here's a relevant comment from Canadian Saint NK. So, if I have this right, 1, you want more time back in your home state. 2, you want him. 3, you want the job you have. Is it possible he can delegate his responsibilities and skim from the top? I know you've mentioned he's his own boss and repair guy, but does he love his trucks more than you? If he's a repair guy and they do a crap job, then insurance covers it. If he hires a bad boss who runs his company into the ground, then he's not a great judge of character and qualifications, and the company was likely going down anyways.
That second one, I don't know if is fair. It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, finding someone to run your company is a very hard thing to do.
Exactly.
Very hard thing.
It can take like
1 to 2 years.
1 to 2 years
at the very least. And like years of
someone you have to. Some people might even live with this person.
Yeah, you have to exactly
travel internationally
like
with this person.
You really have to suss them out, and like I don't know, like you might have other qualifications like curly hair and being hella cute.
Is he super sexy?
Is he super sexy? What's the sexy meter? Will people follow someone who's not sexy? I don't think so,
dude.
I
don't follow ugly people.
Yeah, dude. Every leader of every major nation has been a little bit sexy.
Shout out Vladimir Putin.
Shout out Vlad, dude. Have you seen those horseless or those shirtless horse pics?
He's
horseless shirt.
His horseless shirt pics. Someone please make a meme of that. There are professionals in contract negotiations for a reason. He's obviously good at his job, and contract negotiations for you guys to be as well as you are, he shouldn't have difficulty finding quality people. If he also acts as a dispatcher, then hire a dispatcher too. This person sounds like they know the industry or something. I mean, even paying someone to run these positions and he gets 30 to 50% of net profits, he should be able to work at any McDonald's after and not have a drastic difference in your lifestyle unless he's breaking high-end 6 figures or even into 7. As his company grows, he should be looking into delegating responsibilities anyways.
Bro, I bet you this person's like 12.
That would be so funny. So it's just a matter of can he do it, or is the company too young? You can sell him on I believe they meant to say Angus Ranch, but they said Ranch. From there, please don't send me there.
Bro, this ranch sounds way better.
I bet. I bet for you it is.
I'll come there with wax ready.
He doesn't have to throw in the full ranch hand hours if he doesn't want, but if you guys invest in it, I mean, your father has to retire sometime, right? Better it stays whole and in the family than pieced off to extended family who may sell it off and compromise to competitors.
Yeah, I feel like the ranch staying whole is the most important thing.
Listen, it's a tight spot to be in. Okay? It's hard.
Sometimes you can squeeze your way through these situations, but sometimes it gets stuck.
It's hard to push through, man.
It's hard to push through.
Sometimes you need to just pull out when the time is right.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Make sure to wash off thoroughly.
That's right. I mean, it is a ranch. So in the short term, you guys should probably sacrifice some income and benefits. He's certainly separated from his community to essentially follow you to yours, but in the long term, you should bounce back barring any unhealthy herd. Either way, no matter what you guys do, it sounds like the financial side and security really worry you guys, and you should explore all options, even if they're uncomfortable, like being hands off at his business. If you guys want to be together long term. If it can't be worked out, I'd say follow your heart. You don't want to live regrets. So let's put a nice little bow on this bad boy.
Put that bow on the bad boy.
Honestly, I do think that the commenter did kind of bring up a decent point of like, hey, look, is it going to come without sacrifices? Absolutely not. But could he, just like posing the question to him, could he reach a place where he's able to delegate enough responsibilities to where, like, yeah, he wouldn't be like,
well, yeah, and you could come up with a plan to do that.
Come up with a plan. So maybe it's like, hey, here, it's going to take X number of years for us to get to this point, but like
over that time, we'll like slowly, like we'll slowly give ourselves more freedom and more time. Not necessarily that he's going to completely step away
Yes.
or anything, but he will have the option to step away to focus on other things. Yeah, I think this conversation, you know, it's like any big financial decision and any big business decision is going to have to come with like a plan to make sure, you know, it can survive.
And
so,
given the context that OP left her family ranch, she's been living there for like 4.5, 5+ years. I think it's a fair thing to ask for.
yeah,
Ask for sure.
yeah.
That's it.
What do you guys think? Put your answers in the comments below.